Bruce Heberle, and I am Grandma's son-in-law. I've been married to Ruth Baird now for 48 years. Okay, so I write a monthly article for a couple of newspapers, and it's called Thinking Out Loud. It goes out every month, and I don't write about politics, I don't write about religion, I just write about life, things that happen in my life and how it reflects on the world. So last month I wrote an article and I called it "With Life Well Lived." It's about Grandma. Cindy asked if I can share some of it with you, so here we go. A life well lived. We are here to celebrate the 100th birthday of Grandma Baird. She is many things, but first she's a child of God, then a daughter, sister, wife, mother, mother-in-law, aunt, great-aunt, grandmother, great-grandmother, and great-great-grandmother. Grandma has lived a very eventful life. She's a product of resilient parents. Her mother, Sadie Ruth Baird, was born on May 5th, 1896 in Kansas. Her father, Clarence, was born on September 2nd, 1896 in Oklahoma. Those two were married in Beaver, Oklahoma on December 25th, 1920. On their honeymoon, they homesteaded by covered wagon from the panhandle of Oklahoma to Trinidad, Colorado. On a land claim, they built a dirt, dugout home with a tin roof. And they lived in that home for 2 years. To that union, 4 children were born, 3 boys and 1 girl. All 4 of those children became college graduates, which was quite an accomplishment from such humble beginnings. The 2 older boys were born in a facility that was made from converted railroad cars, a step up from the mud house that they lived in. Stanley, the oldest, became a nuclear physicist, ultimately becoming the director of Skylab at NASA in Houston, Texas. Darrell played football at William Ewell College in Missouri and joined the Air Force during World War II. Unfortunately, he was lost in a training accident when his plane went down flying through the Bermuda Triangle during World War II. Doyle, the youngest, took over the Circle Diamond Ranch in Beaver from his dad and was later the Beaver City postmaster until his retirement. Grandma was the 3rd child of Sadie and Clarence and always was active even before active was the rage. Born on August 19, 1925 on the Circle Diamond Ranch, she grew up in the 1930s and experienced the Dust Bowl firsthand. You would be correct to think Gigi did well in school and by all accounts was a well-rounded girl. She played trumpet, completed the singing and swimming events, and took part in local barrel races, local rodeos as a barrel racer. She graduated from the Oklahoma College for Women in Chickasha, Oklahoma in 1947. On September 2nd, 1952, she married Kenny Baird in Beaver. The couple lived in many places and towns across the Midwest as Kenny worked as a union piper on power plants being built around the U.S. In 1962, the family moved to Columbia, Missouri, finally setting up a permanent residence. Having gone back to college to earn her teaching certificate, she began her teaching career at Ridgeway Elementary School in Columbia. In 1975, the couple moved to Kansas City to be closer to family and their grandkids. She continued her teaching career at Laura Hills Elementary in Raytown while working nights and summers to earn her master's degree in education from NU in 1980. She retired from teaching in 1986. Mother to 8 children, Caroline, Skip, Cindy, Sandy, Tom, Renee, Debbie, and Stanley, she did not slow down after retiring. Grandpa and Grandma were married almost 48 years when he passed on June 24, 2021. Grandma was still very much involved with her church community, has been a Sunday school teacher for decades at the churches she attended. What you may not know about Gigi is that she has always done lots and lots of volunteer work for her community. She also worked at various daycares around the area for several years after retiring, just for something to do. She traveled extensively whenever asked to watch her grandchildren compete in school activities all around the Midwest. In her early 90s, not in the 90s, in her early 90s, she traveled to Haiti to do volunteer work with the poor. She loved her time there, even though we kids were concerned about her safety, especially when their compound was large. With such a large family, life has not always been a bed of roses. She had suffered loss in losing her son's family, daughter Candy, and her husband Kenneth. Speaking of her kids, she has a note in her paperwork that states, this is in her paperwork, I hope I will be missed and not mourned by the Baird children and their families. You are the best gifts given to me by Kenny Baird. We have great kids. This kids hug up. She is now 100 years old and still going strong. Wow, how lucky we have been to have had her in our life. Allow me to close the story, her life story of our birthday hero with a poem that certainly applies to her. Grandmas are people you can look up to, even if you are taller than they are. Grandmas spoil you, no matter how old you get, just because they're one of their favorite things to do. Grandmas tell you stories and always take time to listen. This grandma loves you with all her heart, but her soul belongs to God. Grandma's goal has always been, and I've heard this for years, to make it to 100. You made it. And then she would say, and when I get there, I want to say, Nanny, Nanny, boo, boo. You have certainly lived a life well lived. Happy 100th birthday. Good luck.